A heartfelt motivational story. Once upon a time in a quiet town nestled between mountains and meadows, lived a young woman named Alina. She had dreams that could light up the sky. Dreams of painting the world with colors no one had ever seen. Of telling stories through her art that touched hearts and awakened souls. But life hadn't been kind to Alina. Her past was like a shadow that refused to leave. As a child, she was told by her teachers that art was a hobby, not a path. As a teenager, her father abandoned the family when she spoke of wanting to go to art school. And as an adult, she fell in love with a man who belittled her dreams, saying, "You'll never make money from brushes and colors." Every time she picked up a pencil, their voices echoed in her mind. She stopped painting. Instead, she got a job in an office that drained her spirit, but paid the bills. She surrounded herself with people who expected her to be realistic and to conform. Her heart was buried under expectations, fear of poverty, and wounds from her past. One rainy evening, as Alina walked home from work, she passed by a small street gallery. A painting in the window stopped her in her tracks. It was a messy, vibrant piece of chaotic, emotional, alive. Below it, a small plaque read, "Pain is not the end, it's the beginning." Anonymous. Default text at night. Alina cried, not from sadness, but from the realization that she had been living her life for everyone but herself, controlled by people, controlled by money, controlled by the chains of her past. The next morning, something changed. She took a sick day, then another, and then she quit. She didn't know exactly how she'd survive, but she knew she couldn't keep dying inside every day. She began painting again. Every canvas was a therapy session, every color a scream or a song. She sold her car, moved into a smaller apartment, and started showcasing her work in local fairs. People whispered, some laughed, a few said she was wasting her life. But this time, Alina didn't listen, because for once, she was free, not controlled by anyone's opinion, not chasing money, and no longer bound to a painful past. Years later, her art went viral online. Her story of a woman who chose her soul over safety inspired thousands, but the real victory wasn't in fame or money. It was in the quiet moments she stood in her studio, smiling at a painting she once thought she'd never finish. Her heart whispered, "You're free." 5 heart-touching lessons. 1. Your past doesn't define your future. Alina carried wounds from her childhood, broken relationships, and missed chances, but when she chose to rise above them, her life began to change. No matter how painful your past is, it doesn't have to be the blueprint for your tomorrow. Healing begins the moment you stop letting the past hold the pen to your future. 2. Choosing yourself is not selfish, it's necessary for yours. Alina lived to please others, ignoring her own passion and happiness. The turning point came when she finally said, "Enough." This story reminds us that it's okay to choose you, your dreams, your peace, and your path. You can't pour into others from an empty cup. 3. Money should serve you, not control you. Alina left a stable job, not out of recklessness, but out of courage. She chose purpose over paycheck, and peace over pressure. Money is important, but when it becomes the master, you lose yourself. The story shows that true wealth comes from living in alignment with your soul. 4. People's opinions are not your reality. Everyone had something to say about Alina's choices, but she learned that those voices didn't deserve power over her life. When you live for the applause of others, you risk dying inside. Let your inner voice be louder than the noise around you. 5. It's never too late to begin again. Alina's return to painting wasn't just a career change, it was a rebirth. No matter your age, your failures, or how far you've drifted, you can always start again. As long as you're breathing, your story isn't over. These lessons whisper one powerful truth: you were born to be free. Let go of what holds you back and rise. Moral: don't let yourself be controlled by people, money, or your past experiences. True freedom begins the day you choose you, your dreams, your peace, your passion. Like Alina, you to have a phoenix within, waiting to rise. Let it